Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're doing well. So the 10-year 3797. And if you watch this thing regularly, yesterday we closed at 3723. So it doesn't sound like a big spread, but in our world it is a pretty significant spread. Had a price deterioration late in the afternoon, meaning that the pricing doesn't necessarily mean rate. It's the difference between rate and pricing and that kind of stuff. But things did get worse late in the afternoon with regards to mortgage interest rates. So if you want to know the difference between pricing and rates and that kind of stuff, you can just give me a call, right? So what it looks like happened is that today the initial jobless claims, as every Thursday, came out 264 with a consensus of 260. So that was pretty close to what it was supposed to be, right? We did hold last week. The Fed announced they were going to hold off increasing the Fed funds rate again. I think it would have been like the 16th time in a row. So we held, right, waiting to see what the data was going to be moving forward, right? And they'll make that decision at the next Fed funds meeting. Now, who didn't hold was the European nations, right? So global growth outlook deteriorates on central bank rate hikes, raising risk for U.S. and markets, and Treasury yields broaden highly after a flurry of rate hikes from Europe. So that seems to be what pushed the 10-year Treasury up. So we'll just keep an eye on the entire world and the impact it has, which is kind of my contention about most of this stuff is, you know, we're measuring things like it used to be when we were more insulated, and now this is truly a global economy, and I don't necessarily know that we've changed the metrics for measuring these items, but we'll see how it goes. To that end, we're stayed busy, right? Again, just a busy day, right? The team stayed busy. I stayed busy. And we just keep dealing with all kinds of wonderful opportunities, right? We're learning new stuff. We have clients that now are working less than 1 year. We're diving into some of the products we have available for that, what that looks like. Self-employed, bank statement programs. We're doing standalone seconds. I used to just turn my standalone seconds out. The client called and said, hey, I've got 3.625 interest rate, but I'd like to take out a significant amount to do some upgrades to my home. What's my best option? I said, well, your least best option is to refinance at a 3.625. Cash out refi today might be in the sevens. I said, so let's see if we can pull off an equity line, right? And there was a couple of other things that I won't say on this, but that were interesting, a little bit different than I've been used to, right? And so I checked in with a couple of options that we have, and it does look like, you know, even though this seemed a little bit weird, it's not quite as weird as I thought it was. So they're doing the application, or just did the application earlier today, and we're going to try to pull off a $150,000 equity line, and we're going to be able to leave that 3.625 interest rate and that first mortgage all by itself. So that's good news, and a pretty good payment on the second. So stuff like that. I think really what it all comes down to is having a lender, and on a good day, we hope it's us, that's willing to roll up their sleeves, look into new ideas, research product that, you know, instead of just saying, that's not possible, doing it. We talked to a client today about putting a double wide on a piece of land, but it's got to be, but he doesn't own the land, so that becomes a little bit more difficult. But we got into leaseholds. Can he get a leasehold from the person that owns the land? Would they be willing to give him a lease? It's got to be 10 years longer than the mortgage. What kind of verbiage needs to go into that contract? You know, something we haven't dealt with before, but we're dealing with now. So if you have any questions, 404-915-6834, click mortgage.com. Have a good evening. Bye.